waterfall, actually. You think you're going to see something exciting when you get here, and really all that's happening is the water's becoming intubated.
In 2015, City is Living Laboratory organized 4 walks in the Bronx with interdisciplinary teams of artists and scientists to look at the environmental challenges faced by the local community.
The land hasn't really been changed so much like it has in Manhattan, so you have a lot of the same topography. So we don't have to feel limited when we imagine what the daylighting of Tibbetts Creek can be, because we know they may have built it over the river. It doesn't mean it can't reemerge.
These things weren't planted here. None of these trees were planted here. Nothing's happening in there. And it could be the natural flow of the river could be reinstituted, a daylighting scheme, but also for a flow of people.
If you look at the map, you'll notice how close we really are to Harlem River. It's really possible to get this done one day.
So each of them is like samples of different fluids we have been collecting around in the surrounding areas.
This is the actual Van Cortlandt Lake. With the damming of Tibbetts Brook, this became a freshwater lake. And this is part of a history of the city, New York City, exerting control over the water and the waterways around it.
Culturally, all the drinks that you are going to be tasting are like cultural drinks that we can sample in the area.
We're starting out this walk at the Marble Hill houses, of which Marble Hill Garden is part. NYCHA operates about 670 of such community gardens, and if every New York City housing complex had a community garden, if we aggregate this, we could grow quite a bit of food here.
When Cortlandt Park is bigger than Central Park, it's bigger than Prospect Park. It is over 1,100 acres large.
I had proposed making these kiosks into the past. So basically you take like an electrical transfer box and you put a fish tank in there. That would be basically show you what animals would have lived here. You could even do a terrarium, you know.
White snakeroot, it's Ageratina altissima. It's a nice woodland plant. But actually one of the few native ones that we've seen, or that we've passed.
In the yard of this church is the oldest, largest tree in the Bronx. It's called the Sister Tree.
The call walks were followed up with a workshop to help the artist teams reflect more deeply on the most pressing community concerns. 4 projects emerged from the walks and workshop. 2 by Slow Architecture and Bob Brain that are focused on daylighting Tibbetts Brook, and 2 by Juan Lee Carrion and Mary Mattingly on access to healthy food through community gardens.